See what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here to the round table. We about to break it all down. So we about to what? Break bread right now. You already know. You can tell by the title. We about to get into it. You know what I'm talking about? We about to get into some goodness. You feel me? Some good news. As always, you know. I don't kind of, you know what I'm saying, bring you down, but to give you the true joy. You feel me? True joy instead of letting them play with you. You feel me? As you see, got the belts on. You feel me? Y'all better strap in. Y'all better strap in. Because I'm telling you now, so much that can happen right now. It's so much that can happen right now. I'm going to give everybody a chance to get on in here. You know what I'm talking about? Tell you again, I love you as myself. Ain't nothing you can do about it. As we are one. And I'm so glad that we are in connection. You feel me? Kinfolk. Oh, all my kinfolk out there, how y'all doing? You finna, man, take the belt off, G. I'm undone, screw. Finna come undone out here, you feel me? Y'all come on in here. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Was trying to turn up with y'all, but man, my phone acting like it don't want to play my music this morning, so we ain't gonna even turn up on the music till, you feel me? But again, you feel me? I do appreciate y'all for being yourselves, and I'm thankful for the gift of knowing you, as I tell y'all all the time. You know, I come bearing gifts of appreciation all the time, you feel me? One, want to send a elated birthday, as well as recognize, you know, winter solstice, you feel me? Because we need to pay attention to these times if we ever gonna be able to become self-sufficient. If we ever gonna be able to toe the line for ourselves, we gotta be able to recognize the signs of the time, you know? And then recognizing the signs of the time, we recognize when to plant and when to be ready for harvest, right? Okay. So at the end of the day, that's your risk reward. What's the benefit of doing, you know what I'm saying? Do what works, you know. There we go. So without further ado, I wanna give y'all an old story that I used to hear when I was a kid. They used to talk about how the little boy who always, you know, would get caught with his hand in the cookie jar, so to speak, right? Parents used to always tell him, man, stay out that cookie jar. Don't you go in that cookie jar. Don't you even think about it. You feel me? Especially when I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? If you ask and I tell you no, that's just what it is. That's how the story went, right? So it sure is the parents would tell him this, you know, in their face. He like, yeah, appreciate you. I thank you for saving me from the cookies. I won't touch them cookies, you know? Sometimes, sure, he would try to ask his parents about the cookies, like, you know, why I can't have these cookies? Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button when y'all come in. I appreciate it. Why I can't have these cookies? And so, long story short, they would tell him, you know, don't worry about it. Just do what I tell you. Just do what I tell you. So as sure as they would leave out, he would go put his hand right in the cookie jar. Right in the cookie jar. Said all that to say, you know, when you tell people certain things is wrong, or you tell people they shouldn't, you know, continue in certain ways, you gotta at least tell them why. You feel me? You gotta at least let them understand what the hell, why I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And so today we really gonna talk about, you know, why it's not to our benefit, nor is it positive for us to continue in the ways that we've been, you know, we've been going in. And at the same time, recognizing why the goodness in us is identifying with, you know, with the things that we perceive as good things. So don't think for a moment this, you know, this is a bashing or this is a clashing other than a culture clash. And I just want to give you the best culture possible. You feel me? Which is your culture. You know, that's the best culture that you could possibly give somebody, is their culture back. You feel me? Culture, for one, is something that's put in place, family, for you to be able to thrive and survive. You feel me? So even in the hard times, you'll be able to survive. And then in the good times, you will thrive, because you'll be prepared for everything. You feel me? Prepared for the survival with your survival tips, as well as you got an overflow, because you've been constantly preparing. You know, that's why daily I seek to do manifestations, you feel me, as well as do meditation, which means like balance your spirit out, and at the same time put things out there into the ethers, so that way that energy precedes you. You feel me? Don't forget, family, what? We grateful because that's how you gotta lead off. I'm grateful because when certain things happen to you and it seems like, man, I can't believe that just happened, say, I'm glad that happened like that, because now I can. And I promise you the answers will come to you. The answers will come to you. So it won't be as hard for you to see like, dang, oh, okay, I'm glad that happened right there, because now I can see my alignment. Now I can see where my timing should come in at. Oh, I'm at perfect peace right now, so I can actually do what I said I wanted to do in this moment. You feel me? But without us being in that perfect peace, it's going to be darn near impossible. It's going to be darn near impossible for us to do what we say we want to do. Thought I had my headphones, fam. Don't. But hopefully I'm coming through clear for y'all. Let me double check the sound real quick. But when it comes to that perfect peace, man, that's very important. Oh no, we good. When it comes to that perfect peace, it's very important that you stop at nothing to maintain it, as well as keep that in mind. We need to be deliberate about our perfect peace. Our perfect peace. Appreciate you, Triple C's. Trip C's, my bad. But we need to be thinking about that perfect peace, you know, and keeping that in mind, because it's the things that we focus on that will become us over time. So when you see people can't stop complaining, that's all they thinking about is complaining. You know, these days and times, as far as like, you know, so-called holidays, like these be the roughest times for those people, because they have a hard time being happy with anything. So even with the gifts, all that's gonna take is one shift in consciousness for them to be right back to the unhappiness that they had. You feel me? So when you think about that, it's like, come on now. Let's work on deliberately staying in that state of peace that we seek to be. And for a lot of us, we gotta learn how to tap into that shortcut. So when things happen, we already know what's what. It's like, oh nah, let me go and tap into my little state of peace. Somebody asked you something that you know gonna lead to an argument because you don't play like that. It probably be in your best interest to, you know, remove yourself from the situation, and shoot, if you can help it, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. But have a conversation within yourself of upliftment and joy. Like, darn, I remember a time where, you know, just to fill the void, I would say something, because I don't want a person to feel like they getting one off on me. You feel me? Like, now I don't even feel like I even gotta say nothing to these people. You feel me? I can just keep it moving. And that's where we gotta be at, family. That's where we gotta be at. To the we seek to be, you know, in a state that it's like, you know, no matter what come up on me, I know I got peace. You know, I be noticing when certain things be going on, but I tell my homies, like, you know what, bro? I'm in the eye of the storm, G. I'm in the eye of the storm. I see all the shit going on around me, but right here where I'm at, I got peace. I got peace of mind. You feel me? I got peace within myself. So, like, don't get caught up in, you know, any superficial gifts outside of the gift of the time that you get to spend exploring yourself and expressing the things that are within you. You feel me? Expressing these things out into the world to the point your presence is a present for somebody else. You feel me? A present for somebody else. And if you find out that we living in a culture, like, cause for a lot of us, we constantly talking about how, you know, it's so much death out here and we don't like that. You know what, then? Let's recognize that we living in a culture that supports that. That supports that. You feel me? So how are we surprised? How are we surprised when certain things happen? And we running right into the culture with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, come on, bro. We want to sit here and talk crazy about these young folk, but we can't see how a lot of these holidays are lining up just like a drill song. Just like a drill song. You know, just take the previous 2 holidays we just dealing with, Thanksgiving and, you know, today supposedly Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you take those into account, it's like, murderous. Murderous. And what the gift was the land. The gift was the land. The land. So I'm like, man, they gotta stop playing with us. They gotta stop playing with us, waving that shit in our face. But the moment you celebrate your own demise, then it's like, oh, okay, they good. They cool with it. You know, that's like checking our temperature every year. Checking our temperature every year. You feel me? They like, let's see if these niggas still sleep. You feel me? Let's go and hit them with a holiday, see how much of their money we get. That's like casting votes. You feel me? That's like casting votes. Or taking up donations for an honorable cause. You feel me? I don't think it's an honorable cause to play an inside joke on people and not tell them what you really doing. Because that's the inside of their own demise. The continuation of it. I wouldn't be your friend if I didn't tell you the truth. I wouldn't be your family. I wouldn't be your brother. I shouldn't be nothing to you if I don't tell you the truth. Shout out to my sister Scar Beauty. You feel me? I shouldn't be nothing to you if I can't tell you the truth, family. But the fact that I see you as family, I gotta tell you the truth. They got us playing the cookie jar game. Hit the like button for me, family, so we can get this light brighter out here. Get this light brighter. Let's heat it up. Heat it up for mama. You feel me? Mama heating it up. Shoot, she about 100 something in the soil. You feel me? She about 100 degrees in the soil, keeping it loyal. You feel me? Always providing for her babies. So let's do the same. You feel me? For those who are tapping into the energy and then bringing us back the information in a way that we can understand. Because that's all it is. Humans communicate in certain ways. Some of us speak different languages. But today I'm speaking to the heart. You feel me? I'm speaking to the heart of the matter. On how they keep playing with us. Like, we just went through a situation where they had to come up with a whole fake ass boogeyman on our ass. A whole fake boogeyman on our ass because we crashing shit. Like, let's not forget, during the times of the Freddie Grays, the Trayvons, what people were doing, trying to stop profit. Trying to stop profit because they recognize, dang, these same systems, these same buildings we go in and we spend our money with, these people are killing us and profiting off our death. No different than they did with the Jesus story. No different. So at some point, niggas was like, man, you know what? I'm just going to sit in the middle of their store. I'm lay in the middle of their flow. I'm going to be a dead body. Since you going to do it over my dead body. But somewhere down the line, they said, you know what? We gotta find a way, right, to make it seem like it's a pandemic. And that's why all these bosses had to step down. But they wasn't cutting the mustard. And for a lot of them, they had way bigger, you know what I'm saying, things in mind, loftier ideas to do, and they recognized, dang, that window is closed. That window has closed, so let me move on to something else that I could possibly do. Shout out to the bruh Chris, man. Glad you in here this morning, you feel me? But they had to find something else, y'all. Cause they like, this not working. They not biting on this shit. Y'all almost bankrupt this bitch. And not like we always do. We rise, we fall. And then we rise back up. And here it is, they riding back up with us. But I'm telling y'all now, like, we gotta put together the culture that say, you know what, y'all ain't doing us like this no more. Y'all ain't doing this, no, y'all ain't doing it no more. Y'all ain't gonna keep on letting me come up only for you to rob me at the end of the year. When I'm over here trying to unwind from all this time I done spent playing blind. Playing blind, because we see what's going on. We clearly see what's going on. And it's petty, bro. It's messed up to somebody with how you out here celebrating your own death. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating your own death. If you tell somebody that their parents were slaves, they'll be happy just having a job. They'll be happy just having a job, bro. I'm tell you right now, I don't expect everybody to be on the the same vibration to start, but I speak to y'all from the heart so we can get there, you feel me? Speak to y'all from the heart so we can get on the same page. And honestly, I tell a lot of y'all to share the lives with your family, because I know for a lot of us, we standing in the gap. The things that I'm talking about, this is what their ancestors were trying to tell us. You know, and they ancestors now, because they done moved on. They done moved on. They done served their purpose. But did you get the point? Did you hear what the message was? Did you hear what the message was? Like, we sit over here and we deal with this stuff, man. We deal with it and we live with it. But at the same time, somebody got to tell y'all, like, or somebody got to tell us, the stuff that we die from is because of the so-called suppression of emotions. And all we got to do is express it. So I'm creating an environment where that can happen. In this environment, you free to identify with me. You free to have your emotional rents. Because I know they come from a place that if you're allowed to express that long enough, you'll find your true voice. You'll find your true voice. You feel me? Like, let's not get it twisted, man. Let's not get it twisted. They giving people like me and you away for gifts on Christmas. For gifts, you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, like, why not flip this shit on his head and say, you know what, we got our own holidays and we got our own way of celebrating. Because once you get too far to the left, off up in their culture, you start moving how they move. You feel me? You start moving how they move. Like, let's not get it confused. At one point in time, we had our own systems of trade. Our own systems of how we dealt with each other and make sure the people around us had what they needed and vice versa. But along the way, some people came along and said, darn, I don't even got nothing to offer. I don't got no way in. Other than to take these people who have their own system of trade and then make them trade that in for this piece of paper that I say is valuable. And now that I done stripped them of everything and left with their kids who don't know nothing. Because it's our parents that bring us into this culture. It's us as parents that gotta be careful. We gotta be careful what we show our babies, man. We gotta be careful, man. Because a lot of times we put our kids in situations they can't survive in. Yeah, they make it easy. Like I know growing up in the 90s, they used to be like, bro, things was a lot easier for people. Like as far as people getting their money on, coming up, etc., etc. But then you got kids who grew up in that culture, or basically culture, you know, what they seen over time, right? What they was cultivated in. What they grew accustomed to. You feel me? And then when time go on and they don't got the money because things have changed based on, oh man, you know, at this point in the time, sure, we just got to make sure our family survive. We can barely do that, so you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen when we go back into these points of resets. You know what I'm saying? Like, during the whole Reconstruction period, y'all got to think. It wasn't too long ago. It wasn't too long ago, G. It wasn't too long ago. And when you think about what they was reconstructing how to fit you into this system. How to fit you into this system. Here it is, the slaves was worth more than the system, supposedly. Because, you know, I don't be all the way sold on that slavery shit, because they like to paint it with a broad brush like everybody was getting. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bruh, we wouldn't be free if that was the case. They would have just kept on with the games. But they had to figure out a way to enslave everybody, so they started with the people they could conquer. Feel me? But again, even those few people that they had enslaved was worth more than everything around them, even them. So they had to figure out a way to let these people in turn still work for them, but still find a way to get them money back. Get them the money back. So they can ensure that these people would never overrule their power. Never overrule their power. Like, think about it like this. Say you got a plug, G. This nigga putting you on, you feel me? You ain't had the money up front, right? Say you find out this nigga the reason why you didn't. This nigga robbed your mama, killed your daddy. Now he caught himself putting you on, right? Every time y'all go out, before you find out that this nigga did all this dirty shit to you, every time y'all go out, you so happy that he helping you out, you be trying to spend money to show him like, oh, appreciation. Like, bro, you don't gotta worry about it. You helping me out. You be helping me out. Let me hook you up this time. Soon as y'all get home, you broke. Cause even after you trying to, you know what I'm saying, show him your appreciation, he say, let's go out somewhere else that only he can go because he a plug type nigga. He got that kind of bread. And then you go with him, you spending your money trying to keep up with him. By the time you get home, you broke. You broke, right? Now what you need again? You need him to put you right back on. That's what they doing, bro. That's what they doing. Cause see, for some of us, you know, we make good enough money to where you can make it to the end of the year. But by the end of the year, cause of your love for your family and your lack of skills outside of what they allow for you to do, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention, they got our family so caught up in brands to the point you couldn't dare make somebody something and give it to them from the kindness of your heart for the most part. With the way we raising our kids to be caught up in brands, the way we caught up in brands. But we forgot. We forgot. We was branded. Now we brand ourselves with they brands. Still. So I'm telling you, the game was, everybody wasn't enslaved, dog. Everybody wasn't enslaved. But through the mentality that was able to prosper. Like, ask Hannibal what happened. We kept on putting them folks on their back, but he couldn't get rid of the mentality. So that shit just kept on coming back up. That shit just kept on popping back up, kept popping back up. It's like, man, at the end of the day, I gotta keep on bringing it because it keeps coming back. And I watched generations where it was like, you know, let's move around and let them people do what they do. Yeah, I'm gonna let them do what they do. But there's gonna sure be an alternative. There's sure gonna be, you know what I'm saying, a route that leads back to the way. Like grandmama used to say, bro, you done lost your rabbit ass mind. You done got away from the way. And the only way to get back to the way is to talk about the way that we used to move. You feel me? Let's get back in tune. When they came over here, we taught these people how to get their food. And there was a point in time, if you wanted something done right, you had to get some black folk to do it. Well, we modernly turned as black folk today, you feel me, to do it. And now here it is, we would rather buy it from them. We feel like, shoot, if a nigga give it to you some bootleg shit, like, come on, G. That's why it's very important that they trick you out of believing that Egypt even was in Africa. Or for now, shit, niggas don't even want to hear nothing about it because they done had to research, well, other people done had to research so much to figure out we really was these people to the point, niggas don't even want to hear nothing about no Africa. I don't even hear nothing about no Africa. And a lot of us don't know nothing about our history here, or enough about our history here to the point we like, I don't even want to talk about that. We came over here as slaves. That keep you from even paying attention to what you possibly did over here, or what your people did over here. Because again, they said they thought they ran in the Indians, right? Where's the West Indies? What them Caribbean people look like? So they thought they ran into them, but ran into your ass, right? But, you know, for a lot of us, we know them bitches didn't make it past the Caribbean islands, you feel me? So, yeah, they did run into them motherfuckers. But even with that, that's called the West Indies. Obviously, these motherfuckers look the same in East India, which would be what? India, right? Not to mention when they got here, shoot, they was able to mess with, they was able to mix us in. Able to mix us in. So we had to be quite similar. We had to be Them the same people, G. Them the same people. The same people. Like, look up how the planet has grown and continuously grows. Like, you know, if you don't notice that the planet continuously grows, why you think erosion is a problem? Why you think erosion is a problem? Queen Cascade in the building. Erosion is a problem because, for one, if the soil recedes, then now the plants have nothing to eat. You feel me? The plants don't have nothing to support it as well. You feel me? As well as everything that was supported on top of the soil, you know, is affected. But be that as it may, this planet continuously grows. That's why when people do find shit, they digging down. They digging down. So when you think about that, when they talk about Pangea, so to speak, motherfucker gotta put that shit so far out to the point you can't grasp it, right? You can't grasp it. So if it was all one at one point in time, that means each landmass that separated or became separate had the potential for life. Pieces had the potential for life. So when you get into talking about who's who and how did black people become the original people of every termed African people, just I say darker pigmented people, more nature covered people. You feel me? And that's not no shot at nobody else, but if we be honest with each other, then we can help each other. Because we all got unique qualities, right? We all got unique qualities that if utilized, it can bring quality to all our lives. But if we gonna be petty and keep on harboring on shit that's already done happened, the shit already done happened. Either we gonna work out that knot in our chest between each other, or we gonna, you know what I'm saying, we gonna move forward. I'm quite frankly tired of the fighting and the bickering, because we not moving forward with that shit. That's why you keep on seeing the resets, man. You keep on seeing the resets because, man, you ever been in a fight with a motherfucker and realize you ain't willing to do the fucked up shit they willing to do? So guess what always happens when we fight? The fool wins, because the fool is willing to go lower than you. How low can you go? Can you go down low? Motherfucker gonna take you all the way to the floor with it. And at that point, for a lot of us, you know, you weren't prepared for that. So it's over with. Once a motherfucker sweep your feet. Once a motherfucker sweep your feet. Now I says, you know, I don't celebrate it. It's more of an inside joke to me. Cause I understand that it's a Christian holiday. I definitely get it. But I also understand that, you know, no different than so-called slavery, as it's so broadly termed, which they don't let you know the many forms of slavery through religion, any organized practice, you feel, of your oppressor. You know what I mean? I recognize my people wouldn't be Christian if heads didn't roll. Another inside joke, when they say heads will roll. Oh, okay. That's why a lot of these African countries just not getting the heads back of the presidents who refuse to sell their people. Who refuse to sell their people. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that like button, drop a comment, say what's up. This is my way of saying what's up to y'all, bro. But talking about what's really up. They'll tell you about all the defeats, so you feel defeated. But when you understand you gotta look at both sides of the story, then get it. Go get it. Go get both sides of the story. Or, shoot, use your mind and surmise. These motherfuckers trying to tell me they totally dominated. Let me think or ponder why they gotta keep on selling me this story that they totally dominated. They gotta keep telling you this story or selling you this story that they totally dominated, because it'll keep you from even ever trying to rise up. Ever. But when you look back in history of the people who overcame, these people, man, bro, they used to have less than nothing. We lost the people in the Vietnam War that was throwing sticks and everything, but they had the heart, the will to fight. And all I'm saying is we gotta find another way to fight. Why y'all think, man, I'm gonna say this shit again, and they probably gonna, fuck it, I don't care. Why you think they was killing them witches like that, G? Cause intention is every fucking thing, bruh. And once you got the intent plus the means, you're a fucking threat. You're a fucking threat to people that want to keep you under thumb. They want to keep you under thumb. But at this point, they got so many people under thumb, shoot. And you know everybody ain't gonna move at the same time. You might could shake something. You might could shake something if you really want to. If you really want to. But it's on you if you want to continue in this inside joke. You feel me? It's on you. Man, shout out to you, bruh. You said you just realized that. It's on you, you feel me? If you want to continue in this inside joke. Man, I appreciate y'all support, man. Like, you know, they took my monetization thing, like as far as being able to do commercials and stuff like that so I can get paid off the channel, as well as shadow ban me for a while back, you know, when I first got up to like 1200. Cause I used to allow for the brothers to come on. This before YouTube was very open as it is now. Used to allow the brothers to come on like we doing the argument league, you know. That was some of the on my channel was some of the first places, you know, we met up because like I said, I was able to grow my channel quite fast through networking. And most of all supporting other people's channel. One thing I would say, if you trying to grow a channel on here, y'all, don't get discouraged, but this is what you gotta do. You gotta support other people's product first. You gotta promote other people's shit first. You feel me? And again, getting back to the subject of, you know, what's going on and dealing with these inside jokes, like, you got a lot of people who have a lack of respect for the women, man. And a lot of that stems from the inception of where a lot of us come from. You know, there was breeding camps where they would force people to have sex with their mothers. And depending on the I was finna say the creativity, but depending on the culture in which you live in, it would determine what's acceptable. You feel me? A lot of people won't acknowledge the fact that society say whose word they're being killed. And quite frankly, a lot of us, you know, the only vote that a lot of us have is our money at the end of the year. You know, a vote that they still sleep and still giving it back. But society say, hey, you know what? Out of everybody out here, we can live with, you know, if the black man got killed. That's what society said for so long, to the point, you know, when the cameras came along and people started reporting it at a high rate, it got to the point the world became sick of it and said, you know, this shit gotta stop. But the world gotta recognize, you know, the reason why we all had to step up and say this shit gotta stop, everybody, including black men, is because at some point in time, we tolerated it and we accepted it. Enough so that a motherfucker said, you know what, if I gotta get my rocks off, if I gotta get my shit off, oh, okay, well then I can get away with doing it to a black man. I appreciate that, bruh. I appreciate that. Definitely do. Ask everybody to share it at least 3 times. One for the mother, one for the child. Definitely one for the father. You already know. But when y'all think about the inceptions in which a lot of us come up in and haven't been able to deal with this shadow work because nobody's telling us the real. Nobody's telling us why we got this thing for each other, because we don't study. We don't study each other's anatomy enough to appreciate it, other than, you know what, I got a craving or I got this itch and only you can be used to scratch it right now. And at the end of the day, that's so, come on, bro. That's so disrespectful to the act alone, let alone yourself and the person that you doing the act with. We waste our energy just by wasting our intent. We doing it so, you know, we winging it. You know what I'm saying? We don't put no feeling into it, so much so to the point we lose the magic. And the magic is your intent. Like I said, what you think they killed them people for? Because they intent. And they used what they had. They weren't worrying about what they didn't have. They used what they had. So they might get a pot, stir some herbs in that joint. You feel me? While they stirring up the herbs, they pitching and stirring up the spirit of the person who bothering them. Or stirring up the spirit of the person they want to edify. Because they knew the God's in them. You feel me? The God's in them. How y'all books tell y'all God in you, but you don't like that. So you just run away from the responsibility. Meaning you can never respond to that ability. Like I said, it wouldn't matter if they put it in whatever book. The truth would be the truth no matter where you put it. But what did you do for people to accept it in that form? Obviously, we had it in another form, which was the understanding of ourselves since the time we were born. Children were allowed to act out in certain from the time of birth in order for them to understand the characteristics of the child. But instead, from the time of birth, now we breaking and, you know what I'm saying, breaking and molding the child's spirit. Shit gotta stop. Shit gotta stop. That's why I put my, cash up out there, because me and my brother, we started this campaign, this movement for child advocacy. So often, man, we think because we the parents, we just know what's best, but we got to be real with ourselves. A lot of times we overwhelmed because we don't have a village. And so in essence, the child advocacy will be the village. When nobody be seeking to take your child, but to help you with your child. But to help you with your child, family. You know what I mean? Like, and I ain't gonna, be petty, but I learned this from somebody who was training. They said, I don't train, the animal, but I train the person. I train the person. And the way that you train the person for a lot of us is just reversing the engineering that's been put in a lot of us, because we got goodness in us. It just done been turned the other way. That's how I know you got goodness in you. If it can be turned the other way, then it was there, but somebody just repurposed you. No different than somebody being turned into a sadistic type being because how they was introduced to sex or what was done to their sex organs when they was young. Like, it's so many ways that we get to this point. Like I always say, like being in math class and everybody coming to almost the same or getting the same answer, but going about solving the problem a different way. Or at least thinking you solving the problem. That's why I say sometimes getting close to the same answer. Because some people are set up for just being close enough. But it's what you tolerate. It's what you tolerate that's going to make or break your ass. Gonna make or break your ass. Tell you what, I tolerate the fact that my family gonna make mistakes. That my family gonna make mistakes. But I won't let that relationship break. I won't let that relationship break. Because I know that shit go both ways. I know it go both ways. That relationship could be whatever I decide it is. You feel me? I don't gotta always feed into what the next person say our relationship is. But it's like I say all the time, or we say, because when I'm talking to y'all, we talking. We talking. I just so happen to be the one in the moment that's leading the conversation off. But this is a continuous conversation. As sure as you hear me talking, there's gonna be a constant conversation within you that already started, which leads to why you're here. And that's why I say subscribe, man. Hit that like button. We here for each other. We here for each other. Definitely here for you. We all are a part of a, like, we in our certain bodies no different than a cell in your body. You feel me? And when you think about, all right, you understand the micro, which is you, then think about the macro, which is all of us. So if we all working together, then you have a healthy body doing what it's supposed to do. But when we not working together, we diseased. And we making each other sick. We making each other sick. Because we can be like that sun out there and be shining and adding to everybody vibration by intentions. And just simple as intentionalizing the fact that we want to do that. Just saying we that's what I seek to do. The way to do it will come to you if it's your intent. But if you're not intending, guess what? You begin to radiate things that make people not want to be around you. And if they do want to be around you, it's because they are low vibration too. But when you do get people around you because you in your highest vibration of yourself, or the expression of yourself, because you spent the time with yourself, to where when you come out with other people, it's like, oh, what we say, segmented intentions, you feel me? Before you leave out the door, intentionalize what you plan to do when you go out that door. Aside from, I'm just going to work. Like, I'm going to work, but when I'm at work today, I'm going to be a light today. I'm going to vibrate so high that people going to be like, you know what, I'm just so thankful that you came in today. And then when that synchronicity happened, meaning the alignment of what you intentionalize actually happens. When you hear that person show you that appreciation in that moment, you can begin to appreciate yourself because you recognize it's the power within you that led to that moment. Because you said it. Because believe it or not, it's the intent of others that's ruling a lot of our lives, because we not intending nothing for us. We're not intending a damn thing for ourselves. You know what was so crazy to me about the whole Jesus story, bro? Or Yahshua, man? It's how, you dealing with a culture class within the story right there. You dealing with one. Some people was in agreement with these people being out, out without a home. Out without a home. And they was talking about Mary. Or, Yeshua's mother. Because you hear the stories in the Bible. About how, nah, that's not Joseph's baby. And Joseph was riding with her either way. Either way. Whether he thought it was his baby or not, he was rocking with it from the story. You feel me? But when I look back at that story in hindsight, I'm looking at it like, you know what? These people was selling us some shit then by the way they translated it for a lot of us in the Christian sense. They had you caught up in making sure you weren't homeless. Making sure you weren't homeless, right? But if you deal with that story for real, when you talking about cattle and sheep, it obviously, come on, G. When you talk about the location, the context, they obviously wasn't in a place where cold was a real factor. So when you started looking at American culture, bringing it back home, when you start looking at American culture and they selling you this thug, this so-called alpha male, you know what I'm saying, lifestyle that you gotta push. And then you wonder why it leads to you being in a boy's home. Or you're in the grave. That's where it came from. Think 300. Think Greco-Roman. Oh, you didn't want to talk about that, huh? Well, it's these strengths that been turned into weaknesses. Like when they seen my mama over in Mother Africa in her natural element, where it's naturally hot. And she had on clothes of her culture, which means clothes that was to the best of the environment that she was in and more conducive to what she was pursuing. They turned it into a hoe. Shout out to your hood therapy. Everybody hit that like button for me. Appreciate it. Cause everybody who did hit the like button, I appreciate you. That's what I meant to say. But they terminalized it into a hoe. And what I mean by they, whoever's sitting around this motherfucker still calling motherfuckers hoes for doing what they want to. And doing shit. What you doing? Or once did. Because for a lot of us, we just too old to do the shit no more. So we talking shit about everybody who is. When truth be told, family supposed to be there for family. And one of the best ways to be there for family is to set a proper example. But if you didn't, at least allow for that person to learn from their mistakes as you was allowed to. And give them ample time. Like I said, I hit my head. Not a few times, just 2 times. But even with that, just to show you the culture in which we come from. And how we've been dumbed down to not even think for ourselves. You feel me? It ain't in every aspect we dumbed down. Because it's a lot of stuff we think all the way through. Or we smart enough to remember what people told us. But I remember when I hit my head, and I busted my shit, right? First of all, I'm racing down the highway with my homeboy, trying to prove, you know, my prowess, my speed. I get homie a head start. I catch up with him once I finally take off. Man, shot it so bulky. I'ma write it off to that. He ran it like that, man. That nigga bowled me. I caught the side of one of them accented walls they be having in church. Caught the side of that mud. Bro had to tell me my shit was fucked up, 'cause I still finished the race on his ass. You feel me? Like, bro, like, man, your shit leaking. Your shit leaking, bro. Your shit. I'm like, what? He like, yeah, bro, your shit leaking. He like, man, be still, be still, be still. So then he go get somebody, right? All the women in the church showed up. All the women in the church showed up. Shout out to all the women in my church. Y'all know who y'all are. I'll never forget, they was making gauze, you know what I'm saying, like out of the paper towels. And y'all remember we used to have them brown paper towels back in the day. It'd be so thick that if you get it wet and put it somewhere, you would think somebody didn't flush the toilet or something, or just took a shit and left it on the floor. But long story short, they get me together, and I go to the doctor. The doctor tells me, well, tells my mama that, hey, he's either gonna, watch out, because he's either gonna be either mentally retarded or an idiot savant. My mama say, first of all, don't talk about my child like that. We ain't got time, you know what I'm saying? We finna move around, but I appreciate you stitching my child up. You know what I'm saying? She was a very, you know, proper lady, but she didn't quite understand what the man was saying. I'm obviously not retarded, so I'm obviously the latter, right? And if you don't understand what that is, simply put, I can do whatever I think to do. And for the most part, I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm the shit. And I feel like we all are the shit. So since we bumped our heads a little bit, y'all, with the lies we was told, you feel me? Yeah, it was like cardboard, but since we done bumped our heads, y'all, with the lies we was told, recognize y'all not retarded, because y'all wouldn't be able to understand this conversation. So once you tap in and figure out where your true heart is, your conscience, what you seek to be in life, you'll recognize you got everything that it takes. Everything that it takes. And everything that you went through, everything this life has thrown your way, is here to make you better. Change is not gonna break you. It's not gonna break you. It's only gonna make you better. Because you too far gone to the left. You too far gone to the left. Don't get left. Don't get left in that state. Stop blaming your mama. Stop blaming your daddy. Because right now, you got a decision to make. And it's on you if you're going to make it happen. If you're going to make your child's life better. Because they not just celebrating things just because, oh, the people before me did it. Well, the people before us used to abuse us to an extent too. Oh yeah. As we forward in our thinking, we recognize a lot of things had to stop, right? So this is another thing that has to stop. Remember, y'all, the goal was to, remember when we was on Facebook, everybody passing out the message like, man, we gotta set this system down because the way it's treating us. Martin Luther King was talking about the same thing before he got knocked off. Got knocked off. But they ain't tell you about that part. And I'm not telling you this so you can get knocked off. No. We live in a different time, right? So if we trust we live in a different time, shoot, they shouldn't even be doing you like that, G. Yup. I remember a time, Queen Cascade, when it was, shoot, niggas wanted to be the stepdaddy. Like, niggas wanted to be there for certain kids. I'm talking about they was doing it no different than how them white people be adopting little black kids, you feel me? Because they see the potential. That's how they was, man, come on. I know them type black men. My stepfather was one of those type. Yes, he had his love and affinity for my mother, of course. Of course. But the best of knowledge was instilled in me. One of the best things he ever told me was a real man has self-control, basically. Has control over his faculties. And that includes your, you know what I'm saying? That includes your genitalia, you feel me? Hit the like button, family. I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. That's why I'm talking right to you. To you. I ain't talking about nobody else but us. You feel me? The greatness that is us. And we gotta get back to that. Cause they got us celebrating some shit you shouldn't even be. Come on, G. Yeah, you supposed see this how they throw it out shit. You supposed to celebrate somebody making it out. You feel me? As well as you supposed to celebrate somebody coming in, because it's the cycle of life. So that's what we celebrating. But since you don't know that, then somebody can flip it on you to the point you scared to look, scared to think. Ain't no such thing as halfway shook. You shook as shit. You shook as shit. They got us shook, G. And I'm telling you, you gotta stop being scared. This is your life. This is your life we talking about. You will spend an eternity living this same fucking life, G. Cause that's all you know. No different than habits create the life that you live in now, that you practice now. Guess what? When the lights go off and you don't got no choice in this lucid dream that we call in life, that dream that you will live forever, in your transition, in your long sleep, will be what you made of this life. So don't let them trick you. Don't let them trick you. This is the lucid dream. And based on the work that you do while you're awake, supposedly, will determine how you transition. Come on, G. That's gonna determine how you transition. Thank y'all for hitting that like button. I really appreciate y'all, man. This is how we get it out here to the people. Cause there's more of us out here. But there's so many situations that keep us busy being distracted. I would encourage y'all to check out the book Astral Projection. Can't remember his first name right now, but I know in order to ensure you get in the right book, check out Dr. Frost. It's 11:22. The ancestors is looking on you, hugging, showing you that they love you, man. That they love you. And if you think I'm playing about that dream shit, how many times when thoughts come in your head of discouragement, shoot, encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. When all seems lost, you say, I'm thankful for this moment because now I get to pull off the impossible. I get to pull off the impossible. You feel me? And if it wasn't for you to do, it wouldn't come up on you. Ain't nothing you go through ain't meant to make you greater. Feel me? It's gonna all make sense later, y'all. It's gonna all make sense later, but we gotta do the work. We gotta do the work right now, though. Gotta do the work. Feel me? Tell you right now, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I am so grateful. For one, I'm grateful that people want to hear me, so I give them substance when I speak. I'm grateful that my ancestors made a way for me, so I receive what I believe I can achieve. I'm grateful. So grateful, y'all. Like, give me a minute. I'm so grateful I don't gotta lift a finger nor speak to defend me, but my actions precede me. And my gift make a way for me. Again, man, I want to send a shout out to my family, which is you. Yes, you. You. Because we all are a part of this grand family. This family, this one body. This great minds that think alike. It just so happened for some of us, we happen to be, you know, the energies that flow through the body that take the lead. Heavy is the crown. To whom much is given, much is required. So that's why we constantly got to be studying. Constantly got to be studying to show our self-approval. And a lot of the studying requires you making sure you just on the right path. Checking your alignments, make sure your coordinates is right. Definitely do. Um, but y'all already know I love y'all as myself, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. As we are one. You feel me? We are one. And I'm so glad that we are in connection. I'm so glad, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all share this live with 3 people for mother, father, and child. And if you can support, we got the retreats coming up, the family reunion coming up in 2022. You feel me? Better be there. Yes, you. You better be there. Because this is the time to recharge. This is the time to remember who you once was. This is the time. Queen, you better be there too. You better be there. And hey, I love you. It's myself, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. As we are one. Kinfolk, let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here to the round table. Let me break it all down. We just broke bread. And for those who stayed tuned, the biggest inside joke is not telling your ass that you the true gift. You the true gift. You the true gift to this world. Because without you, would none of this be possible. Would none of this be possible. But you got to learn to be able to see you within the story. Within the story. But the fact that they disconnect you from your identity, you can't see the characteristics of you, no matter what color they make the character. So I'm just here to remind you. We are here to remind each other. I'm just pouring the water into you. So when I get thirsty, you got me. You heard me. Oh, yeah, we manifesting all 2022. All 2022, we manifesting. Yeah, we manifesting all 2022. Peace within, peace out.